Two Russian soldiers are standing in a destroyed trench in eastern Ukraine. Their hands are in the air. They're surrendering. But there is no human soldier in front of them. There's a robot. A remote-controlled tracked machine, controlled by a Ukrainian operator sitting miles behind the front line, just captured two enemy combatants. No shots fired. No Ukrainian soldier within a kilometer. No blood. This is not science fiction. This happened last year in Kharkiv Oblast. And it was just the beginning. Ukraine has just announced it will deploy 25,000 unmanned ground robots to its front line this year. And the world is finally paying attention to the war that's been reinventing warfare right in front of us. Welcome to the first robot war. To understand why Ukraine built a robot army, you need to understand what the front line actually looks like. Imagine a strip of land stretching 200 kilometers, roughly the distance from London to Warsaw. That is Ukraine's front line, and for most of that distance, the sky above it is lethal. Russian FPV drones, small, fast, camera-guided flying bombs, have turned a 9-mile zone on either side of the front line into the kill zone. If you send a truck down a supply road in that zone, it gets hit. If you send an armored vehicle, it gets hit. If you send a person, they get hit. It's guaranteed. A Ukrainian commander in the Azov brigade put it bluntly: "It's hopeless to take an armored vehicle and just send it to evacuate positions. You will be engaged, 100%. Did you know? Ukraine has produced over 4 million drones since 2022. That is roughly one drone for every 10 Ukrainians. A massive military-industrial sector built from scratch. And here's the brutal arithmetic. Russia has roughly 3 times more soldiers than Ukraine. It sends 30,000 new recruits to the front every month. Ukraine cannot match that number. It never could. So it decided to replace its soldiers with machines, right now, on a live battlefield, against the world's second-largest military. Did you know? Before the war, Ukraine had 0 ground robot companies. By 2026, it had over 300, a new industry built during an active war. Ukraine calls this human-centric warfare. If there's a job that will get a soldier killed, sending supplies, clearing mines, a machine should do it instead. The soldier's most valuable asset is no longer his rifle, it's his laptop. Because one of these machines just held a military position alone for 45 days. Meet the robot army. The headline robot is called the Bison L. It's a tracked machine about the size of a large lawnmower, designed for the last-mile delivery. It can carry 300 kilograms, food, water, medical supplies. It moves at 12 kilometers per hour and operates 50 kilometers away from its operator. With 6 communication channels, including Starlink, it resists jamming, and its thermal signature is low enough to avoid most detection systems. Before Bison L, logistics meant a soldier risking death. Now, if the robot gets blown up, Ukraine files an insurance claim. Nobody's mother gets a phone call. Did you know? A Bison L costs $20,000. An FPV drone costs $500. Losing a robot is infinitely better than losing a soldier. Russia wins the kill, but loses the arithmetic. Then there's the Ratel. Built for combat, it carries a machine gun, deploys mines, and can even launch FPV drones from forward positions. A robot launching a robot. And the Zmi, a demining robot clearing 7,000 square meters per day. It walks alongside attacking troops so humans don't have to step on buried explosives. The mall evacuation robot retrieved a wounded soldier from 64 kilometers inside Russian territory, under drone fire. It survived a mine blast. The soldier survived inside. A robot drove into enemy territory, picked up a wounded man, and kept going after a mine blast. That would have been science fiction in 2019. Did you know? Ukraine has a digital procurement system called Dot Chain. Soldiers literally order robots from a catalog of 280 manufacturers, like Amazon Prime for machine gun robots. But here's what nobody expected. These robots aren't just saving lives, they're taking prisoners. And one held a position alone for 45 days. Let's go back to that surrender. The unit responsible is NC-13. Their commander described sending a ground robot forward while aerial drones flew cover overhead. When the Russians saw a machine rolling toward them, no human behind it, no face to read, no negotiation, they did the only thing that made sense. They surrendered. Zelensky called it the first time in history that a position was captured using exclusively unmanned platforms. The Geneva Convention doesn't mention robots. This changes everything. Did you know? In 2022, Ukraine scuttled its only frigate. By 2026, sea drones destroyed over a third of Russia's Black Sea fleet. Victory without a single warship. Then there's the robot that held a defensive position for 45 days. No sleep, no food, no psychological trauma. It just sat there, ready, indefinitely. Did you know? Russia used trained dolphins to guard Sevastopol against sea drones. The dolphins reportedly struggled to catch them. This is not a joke. So if this is working so well, why haven't other countries done it? And why can't Russia just copy it? This is the bigger picture. Russia's problem is structural. Its military is top-down. Ukraine's is decentralized. Innovation at this speed doesn't happen in a bureaucracy. It happens when you fight for existence. Did you know? The sunflower became a symbol when a woman told soldiers to put seeds in their pockets. That same defiance produced the robot army. Dark humor in overwhelming force. Every military in the world is watching. The US, South Korea, the UK, and China are all accelerating their unmanned programs. The robot is now a frontline combatant. The cost assumption has shattered. A Russian tank costs $4 million, a Ukrainian robot costs $15,000. Forcing an expensive military to counter cheap assets is the new strategy. Did you know? Ukraine produces 1 million FPV drones a year. Russia has dedicated drone hunting units with nets and shotguns. It's a dystopian reality from kilometers away. Robots still can't hold territory like infantry. They can't tell a civilian from a combatant. But with AI integration, that gap is now measured in software updates, not years. Did you know? In March 2026 alone, Ukrainian forces logged 9,000 missions with ground robots. That's a life saved every 35 minutes for 3 months straight. Here is what you are watching: a poorer country inventing its way out of an impossible situation. The first real test: can machines replace human soldiers? The answer is partially, and partially is enough to change the calculus. Russia has 1.5 million men. Ukraine doesn't need to match that. It needs to make every advance too expensive. 25,000 ground robots, 300 companies, a wounded soldier saved from 64 kilometers behind enemy lines. This is not the future of war. This is the present. Robots don't bleed. Robots don't need sleep. Robots don't write letters home. And the country that figured it out first just changed how every war is fought. If this changed how you see the future of warfare, hit like. Subscribe to The Bigger Picture.